Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching NDTV. The political heat in the state of West Bengal is rising, with BJP leader and leader of opposition Showdown Adhikari taking on Chief Minister Mamata Bannerjee for what he calls Muslim appeasement and complete disregard for Hindus, and Mamata Bannerjee giving it right back to him, claiming that the BJP in Bengal has brought in a brand of fake imported Hinduism, something that she says the state of West Bengal will never accept. Now, there was high drama that was witnessed outside Bengal Assembly today, with BJP MLAs walking out of the assembly alleging that the TMC has taken no action after temples were allegedly vandalized in the state. Now, the Chief Minister, known for reciting the Chandi Path in the last assembly elections, shot back saying that she's a practicing Hindu and doesn't need the BJP certificate on her religion. Now, this fierce exchange of words between the TMC and BJP comes a day after both BJP and TMC approached the Election Commission of India about what they see as manipulation of electoral rolls. Now, that brings us to the larger question. After months of protests over rights of women and doctors that the state of West Bengal witnessed recently after the horrific rape and murder of a female doctor, is identity politics or Mandir Muslim politics back in West Bengal? Also, will the TMC, that faced a setback in 2019 and also in 2021, losing almost 77 seats to the BJP but regained some lost ground in 2024, will the TMC be able to take on the aggression of the BJP that has just recently seen 3 back-to-back election victories? Before I bring in my guests, here's a report of what really happened.
ममता बनर्जी, ममता हटाओ, ममता हटाओ, चोर ममता हटाओ.
An epic battle between the Trinamool Congress and BJP, both parties questioning each other's Hindu credentials and terming each other anti-Hindu. While the BJP alleged temple desecration and blamed the Mamata government for failing to secure the majority community, Mamata hit back, saying no one can change Kolkata's cosmopolitan culture. She chose the Trinamool Holy Milan event to say,
और बंगाल में हर राज्यों का आदमी रहता है. ये हमारा कॉस्मोपॉलिटन एरिया है. चाहे बुद्धिस्ट हो, चाहे मुस्लिम हो, चाहे क्रिश्चियन हो. देखिए, एक दिन के लिए कोई आदमी झगड़ा लगा के चला जाएगा, लेकिन जब आग जलेंगे तो वो नहीं रहेंगे. हम लोग क्या चाहते हैं? हम आग नहीं चाहते हैं. आग का परंपरा कोई डिवाइड करने के लिए नहीं होता है. हमारा मर्जी हम पूजा करते हैं, आपका मर्जी आप भी पालन करते हैं. आपको जो भी चाहिए.
A day after leader of opposition Showdown Adhikari said that Muslim MLAs of the Trinamool Congress would be thrown out of the West Bengal Assembly if the BJP comes to power, Chief Minister Mamata Bannerjee accused the Saffron Party of importing fake Hinduism to the state. This is what Mamata said in the House. Your imported Hindu dharma is not supported by the Vedas or by our seers. How can you deny the rights of Muslims as citizens? This is nothing but a fraud. You are importing fake Hinduism. Banerjee also expressed her concern over the BJP's treatment of minorities, asserting, I have the right to protect Hindu dharma, but not your version of it. Please don't play the Hindu card. In response, BJP MLA staged a walkout from the assembly protesting against the fake Hinduism charge.
और राम मंदिर उद्घाटन का दिन कलकत्ता में मार्च निकला था, थी जो मृत्यु कुंभ बताई हिंदू विरोधी सरकार. हिंदू हित के लिए जो करना चाहिए करूंगा. एक शुभेंदु को मौत होगा तो 1 करोड़ हिंदू शुभेंदु निकल के आएगा.
इतना मुस्लिम के लिए नफरत है बीजेपी को, तो सब मुस्लिम को निकाल दो ना देश से. हिम्मत है तो. इतना क्यों नफरत? और मुस्लिम वोटर लिस्ट से सब निकाल दो, सब हिंदू को लेकर वोट करो. उसके बाद क्या करो?
They continued their protest outside the house, accusing Mamata Bannerjee of attempting to silence them using an outsider, probably belonging to the special branch of police or a TMC goon in the gallery.
बाहर का आदमी घुसा के रिकॉर्डिंग किया जा रहा है. आज बाहर का आदमी घुसा, इतना पुलिस क्या कर रहा है? क्या कर रहा है?
Interestingly enough, the live telecast of proceedings of Wednesday's West Bengal Assembly session is offline.
So BJP was essentially listing out all these instances where the Trinamool Congress has been anti-Hindu, and the Trinamool Congress was reminding the BJP of the instances of when they have been anti-Muslim. So basically a war of words on communal politics unfolding here in West Bengal. Of course, one has to keep in mind that West Bengal is slated for elections early next year, and the BJP and Trinamool Congress leaving no stone unturned to take on each other politically here in the Legislative Assembly.
Meanwhile, another leg of the battle is playing out at Parliament. The Trinamool Congress has sought a full discussion on discrepancies in the voters list. The party met the Election Commission of India on Tuesday on the same issue. The poll body has assured of corrections within 3 months, but the Trinamool is still not convinced.
हम लोग इलेक्शन कमीशन के पास मिलने के लिए गए थे। इलेक्शन कमीशन के सामने हमने काफ़ी चीज़ें रखी। उन्होंने कहा कि 3 महीने के अंदर हम इसका निवारण करेंगे। मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ, इसमें एक संशय उठता है कि क्या उनको मालूम है कि कितने एपिक डुप्लीकेट कार्ड हैं जिसको वो 3 महीने के अंदर करने वाले हैं। उसके साथ ही जब हम कभी भी सारी पार्टियां चाहती हैं कि यह डिस्कशन दोनों सदनों में हो, इसमें बीजेपी को भी भाग लेना चाहिए क्योंकि वोट उसको भी वोटर लोग देते हैं, लेकिन वह इस चर्चा को कराने के लिए तैयार नहीं है।
On Tuesday, Trinamool Congress joined cause with Congress in Parliament on Manipur. Banerjee asked for immediate elections in the state.
Manipur needs the justice. Manipur justice has to be given. This is the way. 356 ought to have imposed, and immediately elections should be held for the Manipur itself.
The issue arose after the government faced opposition fire on its handling of the violence in Manipur as the budget allocation for the state was being discussed. With Shreyasi Ghosh and Aishwarya Gargi Rawat for NDTV.
We have Rakesh Sinha, who is a former Rajya Sabha MP and also national spokesperson of the BJP. We have Tanvi Das, who's a political analyst. We have Shikha Mukherjee, who's also been a senior journalist. We have Dr. Mohammad Amin, who's a former Joint Director, Chief of Protocol, Election Commission of India. Thank you all of you for joining us. But first, we also have a special guest, Dr. Sukanta Majumdar, who's the Union Minister of State for Education. He's also a BJP MP from West Bengal, somebody who has also led the BJP unit of West Bengal. Thank you, Dr. Majumdar, for joining us. Sir, you heard what Mamata Bannerjee said with regard to what she calls fake imported Hinduism. You also saw the BJP making these very serious allegations that temples have been vandalized in the state, but no action has been taken. Is this the BJP and the TMC, both of them gearing for elections, or do you see this as a social issue that needs to be addressed?
In case of West Bengal, the BJP is advocating for the Hindus, and it is not for the sake of election, because for the last few months, the several parts of West Bengal where means Hindus are facing this kind of atrocities. Two days ago, there is a place in the Murshidabad district, it's Nauda. In that Nauda market, the shop of the Hindu owners were burned by the Muslim goons. After that, police reached there, but after the incident happened, after that police reached at Nauda market. But up to when police reached, before that, all the shops there belonging to the Hindu, already they have been burned. So this is the situation. Not only it is a some kind of discrete incident. Few months ago, if you could remember, that similar kind of incident happened in the Beldanga, which is also situated in Murshidabad district. In that Beldanga, during the Kartik Puja, the pandals was vandalized. Hindus were attacked by the Muslim goons, and TMC could not do, rather I should say TMC did not try to do anything at that time. And several these kind of incidents are happening in the state of West Bengal.
Right.
And Mamata Bannerjee, first time in the history of her life, he used the word Hindu singly. Before that, he always used to use Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, like that. First time, she claimed that she is a Brahmin girl, and first time she is using Hindu. This is called, we call it Achhe Hindu.
Okay. Right. Dr. Majumdar, also recently we've seen some MLAs of your party leave and go to the TMC. In fact, when Tapsi Mandal left, she was the 9th MLA. In fact, the number has come to 65 now. Even in 2024, there was certain ground that the TMC regained. What makes you think that the BJP will be able to defeat the TMC in the upcoming assembly elections?
Actually, the MLAs, obviously they have left, few MLAs left after the election of 2021. The most of the MLAs are from the such a background that they came from the different parties. You know, the BJP has grown in this state from 2014 to 2000 onwards, 2014 onwards in a short time. So obviously we have accumulated, we have assimilated lots of people from the other parties. Some of them are not, so habituated of staying in opposition. So that's why they are leaving. They need something more which we can't provide. It is very difficult to be in the opposition. It is not so easy. But you don't worry, because the MLAs and MP, I am a MP and second time MP. I have only 1% contribution, less than 1% contribution to that I have been elected. But my workers, the BJP worker, that is the main thing. How many workers joined with that MLA? That is the important point. No BJP workers joined from BJP to TMC because our workers, BJP Karyakartas, they make MLA, they make MPs. The most important part of the BJP is the workers, those are fighting for the last 30-40 years in the state of West Bengal to bring the change, and certainly we will bring the change. I challenge Trinamool Congress to give the ticket to Tapsi Mandal in Haldia.
Right. Okay.
We in Haldia.
Okay, that's a challenge that I think the TMC will have to take. Dr. Majumdar, my last question to you, sir. I know that the BJP has also raised issues with regard to duplication. In fact, the TMC has also raised issues with regard to epic names, and also saying that there are, people with the same epic IDs across the country. How are you looking at the EC's role here? Because it's not the first time that the BJP has raised these issues. Why hasn't the ECI worked on this particular concern that you've raised since 2019, 2021? Why hasn't the ECI been able to address some of these concerns?
I feel that ECI, they are a organization, such a kind of organization, they have to depend upon the state machinery. The TMC is just picking up such an issue which is not so important. Suppose you and me have the similar, we both may have the voter ID card which carries the same number, but it is not so so big problem because my name is allocated to vote in my booth, your name is allocated to your booth. So one person from one booth, suppose you cannot cast my vote by going to my constituency or my booth. But the main problem is that the data what we have submitted to the Election Commission, in that pen drive we have submitted the names, suspicious names, which is of number of 13 lakhs approximately, more than that, 13 lakhs names. Those are somehow similar, either by the age, name, 3 criteria, more not less than 3 criteria: age, relative name, and the address. And they are staying in the different constituency. So it is the important part. And as I mentioned, the voter list or electoral roll is formed by the CEO, Chief Electoral Officer, with the help of the district administration as well as the block level administration.
Okay.
You can ask anybody, any expert who knows little bit about the administration of the West Bengal, how biased they are. So they will able to tell all these officers are the close aid of TMC, and sometimes they become the TMC leader in that district.
Okay.
So everything is done by the TMC and TMC leaders. Even in case of Chief Electoral Officer, what is the standard protocol? The CM will send 3 names. Within that 3 names, the Election Commission has to pick one.
Okay.
So this is the rule. That means all the officers will be the very close aid of Mamata Bannerjee.
Right. So the dependence on state machinery by ECI, you're saying, is also one of those red flags that you've raised. Thank you, Dr. Majumdar, for joining us on this discussion, for your valuable time. To Mr. Sinha now. Mr. Sinha, the BJP's allegation that the cops in the state of West Bengal are reluctant to take action and that Hindus are being attacked in Murshidabad or Uluberia, or the KMC changing the holiday calendar, cancelling a holiday for Vishwakarma Puja, extending the same for Eid. Do you think all of this adds to perception in politics? Because electorally, the TMC has been winning. In fact, even in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, they managed to improve their performance. How do you think this is going to impact Mamata Bannerjee's perception in politics? Because till now, she has proved that she is a leader to reckon with.
Hindus in Bengal are victim of Muslim domination. It is not the first time. Since Suravardi in 1946 till Mamata Bannerjee, Hindu anxieties have not been addressed by any government. They are unkind to the Hindu festivals, which is very obvious when there is a Durga Puja festival or Saraswati Puja festival. As far as the Muslim-dominated districts and constituency like Malda and Murshidabad, in Malda, Muslim population is 51% and Murshidabad it is 66%. Such districts and constituency show that Hindus are the second-rate citizens. They don't enjoy their spiritual freedom. This is one of the anxieties which BJP is addressing, and I think that in the contemporary India, the communal discourse and communal dictionary is dominating. There are two important reasons for that. First is that pseudo-seculars are unchanged. They are not changing their behavior. They are not ready to accept that there is a Hindu grievances, Hindu aspirations, and Hindus their own right as a majority community. Second important thing, Bengal has a historical regions. You see that 1905 Bengal was partition, 1911 it was annual. Again Bengal witnessed the great massacre that was the Jinnah's call for the direct action in 1946. Therefore, I think that in all these historical perspective, when Mamata Bannerjee is facing the challenge and Bengal is at the threshold of change, BJP is bound to come into the power. Because the polarization done by the Mamata, Congress and leftist is now giving a counter polarization that Hindus are uniting from rural area to the urban areas. Their unity is not a communal unity. This is a democratic counter to the communal polarization and politics of appeasement. Second thing that you see that in Bangladesh there was the massacre of the Hindus, and the Bangladesh which has the Rabindranath Tagore's poem that is a national song, Sonar Bangla, but the same Bangladesh is butchering Hindus. Mamata Bannerjee has no word for the Hindus of the Bangladesh.
Okay, let me ask this.
These all things are impacting the Hindus of the West Bengal. I am just adding one thing.
Yes.
In 1907. Colonel UN Mukherjee wrote a very small treatise, That Dying Race, in which he concluded at the end of the census, they count their numbers, we count our loss.
Okay.
The gain and loss, the Muslim population is increasing, and that increase is due to two reasons. One, the fertility rate, second is the infiltrators from Bangladesh and Pakistan. Therefore, I think that Mamata Bannerjee government is unfit to rule Bengal. If it rules further 5 years, then Bengal would be completely Islamized and Hindus would recede to the secondary citizenship.
Okay, let me ask this question to Shikha Mukherjee. Ma'am, last time we spoke when the RG card protests were going on, but a lot has happened after that. How do you think TMC is going to take on this present challenge of the BJP? Because this is a new BJP. While it may have 240 in the Lok Sabha, it has had subsequent successes in a lot of states, including Maharashtra and Haryana. And it's also a new TMC. It's also a TMC that in some ways could be seen as facing a lot more anti-incumbency than what it did in 2021. How do you see Mamata Bannerjee, facing this challenge from a new BJP, especially when it comes to Hindutva or Hinduism?
If the question is about how the BJP is going to handle it politically, then a couple of things I think we need to be very clear about. One, that just 2 days ago, the BJP in West Bengal hemorrhaged. One more of their imports from the CPIM joined the Trinamool Congress. The person who joined, Taposhi Mondol, she is from Haldia constituency, which is in East Midnapur, which is Shubhendu Adhikari's bastion. That is one. So basically, 1 year before the election is scheduled, the BJP is hemorrhaging, number one. Number two, there have been innumerable fights in the open, within the BJP, out in the social media, out in the press. And this is the state of the BJP. Now, I fully appreciate that the BJP spokesperson is confident that the BJP is going to make a huge win in West Bengal. I fully appreciate that sentiment. However, the reality on the ground is that the BJP itself, in its more honest moments and in private, acknowledges that there are organizational problems within the party at this point in West Bengal. Therefore, if you look at what the Hindutva card that is now being played in West Bengal, with Shubhendu Adhikari declaring that Muslim MLAs will be thrown out when the BJP is voted to power. Now, does the BJP or Mr. Shubhendu Adhikari have the right to decide who will represent whom and how a representative will be thrown out of an assembly when after having been legitimately elected? This kind of cheap, idiotic, anti-constitutional politics is BJP's problem. BJP does not know how to fight in West Bengal on issues which are likely to make it the bigger party.
Okay. Before I go to other guests, Mohammed, there's one question that I wanted to ask you as somebody who's worked with ECI. So how do you see both BJP and TMC approaching the ECI, specifically with regard to concerns around the electoral roll, saying that there's either duplication or additions, and also with regard to the epic IDs? Is there something that the ECI can do, or is there any decentralized effort that needs to take place?
Actually, the Mamata Bannerjee has already raised the issue about the duplicate epic numbers, and she has some cards also, and she wants to submit to the ECI, and ECI has already given this clarification about this, that the EPI has never issued a duplicate card. Might be this was used before the manual mechanism was used for before the shifting of the Aeronet first, and this time Aeronet 2 is going on, so this time this will not duplicate, you can find it. But in case of the voting, duplicate epic, if they are issued, but the apply of the duplicate fake cards are not issued for the voting purpose. They have their domicile, their polling stations, and all records are there in same place. Not if they have the duplicate numbers, they can use the other place. So that's why this is already given by the Election Commission to the answer to the Mamata Bannerjee, and there clarification also for that. So this, in next time you can see in the Aeronet 2, this will not duplicate. You can find any voter ID card.
Okay.
First time maybe happen, but the manual mechanism used before the shifting of the Aeronet 1. That's what I'm telling you.
Right. Ms. Tanvi Das, in 2021 elections, I remember covering the campaign, and the spotlight then was the kind of defections that took place. In fact, even Shubhendu Adhikari that we are talking about right now was one of those defectors who came from TMC to BJP in 2021. When it comes to 2026 campaign, what are the issues that you think are going to take center stage? Is it going to be about governance? We saw law and order becoming really big last year in West Bengal. Or do you see Hindutva, issues of identity, Hindu-Muslim identity becoming the focal point of 2026 elections in Bengal?
So first of all, you should understand that Hindutva or Hindu-Muslim issue never been the voting issue for in Bengal, because we believe in that in our constitutions, and that is our constitutional right, that we all, maybe Hindu or Muslims or any other religion we belong, but we have the same right to live in India, this Indian Union. That is the main thing we should understand. Maybe we don't know that why Shubhendu Adhikari, this kind of comment happened. I don't know what is the reason behind it. Maybe the Taposhi Mondol joined the TMC. Maybe that kind of things puzzle him. And but whatever Shukanto Majumdar has said, and the BJP spokesperson already said before a few minutes that Malda, Murshidabad incidents, and you just investigate and you can get the information that all this incident is fabricated by the BJP and the RSS with the RSS propaganda, and RSS supporters arrested by the state police for spreading this kind of things and make a right-like situation all over the Bengal.
Okay.
And that is only the thing to win the 2026 election. But main thing is we are Bengals. We are Bengal's people. We are not supporting BJP.
Let me ask this question to Mr. Sinha. Mr. Sinha, this is something I've heard often. People say that Bengal is not like the north of India. Hindu-Muslim does not work there. And when Mr. Suvendu Adhikari says that Hindu population would throw TMC away from power, in fact, he's calling TMC Muslim League Part 2. Do you think that this strikes the right chord with the people of the state? Because if you see the responses, I was looking at Shaukat Mullah, who's also the Canning East MLA. He's saying that if Muslim MLAs are treated the way Suvendu Adhikari is claiming, they will also not remain silent. So clearly, if there are political reactions, there are also social consequences. How will West Bengal look at BJP going aggressive on Hindutva? Do you think that the BJP will have to tone down its strategy, or do you think that is something that has worked for the party and will work even in Bengal?
BJP works in two ways. One, a historical perspective BJP has about the Bengal. Second, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's agenda for development. His popularity is unmatched in West Bengal. Mamata Bannerjee acknowledges this, and she knows that it is Modi's popularity which will lead the BJP into the power in the next election. But two important points. I agree that Bengal has a historical background, and Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali is from Bengal. It had given identity to entire India at a time. So it is a deterrent for evolution of a civil society. When a particular community remains in its own way, remains inflexible, it only chants constitution's preamble but does not follow the constitution's multiculturalism. That is one thing. Second important thing, the pseudo-secularism's contribution to the India's secularism. That contribution is the secular abuse to Hinduism. It inflicted the minority psychology into the majority community. You see in India, the majority community is begging for the Shobha Yatra, begging for the Durga Puja Pandal, begging for the Saraswati Puja. This is first time in the civilizational history, a country which has a Hindu majority, but they are begging. The same Bengal has a history of Firangi Kali Mandir. Just give me 30 seconds. Bengal's multiculturalism can be defined in a way by one instance, there is a Firangi Kali Mandir. Means Europeans used to visit their Kali Mandir. Same Bengal is now seeing that Mamata Bannerjee is polarizing the Muslim votes for her own power's sake. I am really surprised. The lady who emerged from the struggle, from social and political struggle, now is championing the cause of communalism. So I think that Hindu polarization is not a communal polarization, it is a counter-democratic polarization against the communal polarization which have been institutionalized by the pseudo-secular politics in India in general and West Bengal in particular.
Okay. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me on this broadcast. There's a showdown between the TMC and the BJP with regard to what happened in the West Bengal Assembly today. BJP alleging that the TMC is behaving in an undemocratic fashion. But of course, the TMC saying that the BJP does not need to teach Mamata Bannerjee any form of Hindutva. In fact, she's a practicing Hindu, and that it's the BJP that is bringing in a fake imported form of Hinduism that will not work for the people of the state.